I always have ideas, and I love being able to take that idea and make it happen. I'm just fueled by all this creativity that's happening in LA. It's magic when we can bring something that doesn't exist into reality. We have this power that didn't come easy. LA is like a really dynamic city. You'll never know like who's behind what door. I'm connecting with people who are authors or filmmakers or composers. And I'm just inspired by people who are passionate about what they do, because I'm like passionate about what I do. I'm always like learning. If you have this like mindset of being like a student, then you're always able to learn. Maybe you can use that knowledge for something that you're doing down the road. And if you just have like a safe place to create, anything goes. And what comes out of that is a lot of potential. I grew up in the Valley, an equestrian community. From my childhood, I was exposed to a lot of different good childhood memories. My dad, he's super talented at logos and letter form and doing branding. Kind of like grew up learning from him. I designed my first logo for a restaurant when I was like 13. I was always like just making stuff, and that kind of led to just me continuing to like sharpen that spear. My parents are so cool. They've always been like supportive of everything I did. They're supportive from like a grounded perspective. And I've had so many crazy ideas over the years. I was debating of whether or not to go to like music school or go to art school. There was a time where I did study jazz, and I love music and I play music every day. Do I go to music school and then become like a touring drummer? Is that what I want to do? Or do I take my creativity and my design talent and then turn that into a profession, which might be less risky maybe than being a professional musician? It steered me in the direction of going after my art and supported the art. When I was a student, I wanted a backpack to carry my laptop. I wanted something that had no logos on it, minimal, had all the pockets for everything I needed to carry. In the process of solving that problem, this company formed. At the time, I got in touch with one of the owners of Incase, Bobby Chang, who was a student in the industrial design program that I was in at the time. But he was there 10 years before me. He knew that I wanted to build a company like Incase. He would like school me on like ways to think about it differently. After talking with him a bunch, he's like, hey, do you want to come to China and see how we make 25,000 bags a day? I was like, yeah. Brought a camera and a lavalier. I went to China and I visited 7 factories. It was an eye-opening experience. At the end of the trip, we were sitting down like talking. He's like, so what do you want to do? I was like, oh, I would love to be able to like have this in my backyard. I don't want to go to China to make stuff. I want to build it here in LA. Put together a presentation of what you want, and then we'll talk about it. Put together a vision of what I needed. I showed it to him. He's like, okay, cool. And then he wrote me a check. He became like the angel investor of my company. And I used that money to buy machines, open up a space. I was able to, at the time, convince Mauricio, who's in the back, to come be my first employee. We were like making orders and shipping orders, and I wound up paying Bobby back in full in 5 months. A friend who believed in me and gave me the power to like do it. Coming up with an idea is one thing, making it is a whole other thing. But then also making it something that you want to put in a box and ship to someone and open and experience in a certain way. There's a lot that goes into that process. The most important tool is the pencil. If you could draw an idea that you have, then you can make it. I would go to museums and learn how to draw all the artifacts in the museum. So I remember going to like the Southwest Museum and drawing like moccasins that were made by like Indians. And I'd be going to like the Peterson Automotive Museum and like learning how to draw the car, the wheels and all the different parts and pieces. I was in a class where I had to go to the American Military Museum. And when I was there, I discovered this like military truck tarp on a Humvee. Indestructible, super durable, has like all this kind of like history to it. The technical aspect of the materials really kind of resonated with like the way that like my mind thinks from like a technical point of view. And that became the starting point for me making a collection of products out of this like repurposed military truck tarp. Whatever product I'm making, I'll draw out what it looks like first. Let's say it's a backpack. Based on the requirements of what that bag needs to carry, we'll design the exterior first. Typically our bags have like a passport pocket. They'll have a pocket for cables. They'll have a pocket for like your phone, your keys, your wallet. Then you'll have an area for your laptop or tablet, and then a little bit of extra space for carrying a water bottle or carrying a jacket. Most of our products, they're not too much. It's everything that you need, nothing more. Once I have a design, then I'll figure out like what materials go into that, what zippers go into it, what button snaps, what parts and pieces, and then we'll make a pattern. We'll get the raw material, cut it out, get like the foam or the buckles or the webbing, and then take that flat design and cut it out and then sew it together. Flip it inside out, paint edges of leather if we need to, and then finish the product, put it in a box, wrap it up, and ship it out. When you start a company and you're just like working every day to make it happen, you don't sleep, you don't really eat healthy, you don't really exercise. I realized I had all these like unhealthy habits, gaining weight, and I wasn't like myself, but I don't want to leave the studio, so how can I exercise here? Built my own speed bag, and I got the hardware, and I made my own boxing kit, and that became my workout. It put me back on track, and then it also became a new product, and that's what led our athletics collection. You know, you could put like the Killspencer ethos into any activity. You know, whether you're designing a house or making a boat, there's like this unlimited aspect of how you can apply our mindset to that activity. It's all encompassing. All of that knowledge turns into kind of where I'm at now to like support the creative vision. We're driven by solving problems, not by like following trends. We're trying to make things that are classic and timeless. Taking the time to figure out how to put those pieces of the puzzle together. The process of going through that journey is what drives me. The best thing I could do is hope that people like look at what I do and what we do here, and they're inspired to make their own thing happen. A lot of people wish they created something and they want to, but they're like afraid to take that next step, or they'll make something and then they'll realize it's like harder than they thought and they might give up, or they'll make the thing and they'll invest a lot of money and it might fail, which a lot of stuff that we make does fail. But that's a part of the process that everyone has to go through. Hopefully, if we can inspire someone to create and follow their own gut feeling of what they think they want to bring into the world, then that's awesome. That's what we're all about. Steve Jobs said, love what you do, love what you make, and make it to perfection. I love that statement. I used to think success was about like how much money you have or how much property you own, how many employees you have. To me, what's important, being able to be fulfilled with the work that you do and to enjoy the process of your time doing the thing that you like to do. I'm spending a lot of time doing a bunch of different things kind of poorly. And then over time, those things I'm doing poorly are getting better and better and better. You can be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Maybe there's a world in which you can become master of all of them. If I'm slowly getting better at the things that I am aspiring to be good at, then that's to me what success is. And also just like being surrounded by people that you love and you respect and having that kind of mutual life goal. And then just fighting for the people that you care for and just being there to support them. If you have a vision for what you want to execute, you can achieve anything you want if you put your mind to it. Thinking long-term is like really important and having a plan and going after it. We're doing it with like a really small team, slowly and carefully. Imagine what that would look like if we had more like firepower behind us, and more people to help execute bigger dreams. And we're getting there. And we're gonna be one step closer next year.